All right, can we make this John Deere coupler more better? Let's find out right after this. Welcome back. If you haven't seen my videos before, I'm Rouse the Oliver Man, and this is one of the two set of couplers, remote couplers, off of my beloved John Deere that Grandpa bought new. And they've leaked like a sieve for years, and so we need to see if we can't make these more better. And I think I'm just going to put the whole thing into our magic cleaner and let it cook for a while, because it is coated with crap. I will tell you this, when we took it off in the last video, this was busted all to pieces. So I spent about an hour nickel rodding it in. I found out it had already been broke once before, and cleaning it up over here, I see it's been broke over here. So he obviously had it off of there and had somebody braze it once before or do something, because yeah, he wouldn't have attempted to weld cast. So I did the best I could with what I had, because this was actually busted into two pieces. So it took 3 welds. So I welded the 2 pieces back together first on both sides, and then ground it down a little on the inside, and then did the other 2 sides. And then when I was done, I had to end up drilling the center hole out so that the bolt would go through it. It ain't pretty, but I didn't have much to work with. And I didn't grind it down too awful much either. I tried to make it kind of smooth, but not take off any more meat than I had to. So, where to begin? Well, before we put it in the dip, I'm going to take these 2 loose, just so it can get in there. And we're also going to take these freeze plugs out, which I guess we can disassemble some of the stuff maybe. I'm just trying to figure out ways to let it get more clean. So maybe I do need to just try to tear it down and then put it in the cleaner, which is fine with me. But you have to remember, I know very little about what I'm doing. I've seen some footage on it. I do have the factory service book, so I can always go get that if I have to. But anyway, I got these kits that should have everything in it we need. So I was hoping I could punch a hole in that so I could flip it up out of there. But like anything in my life, if I want it to, it won't. If I don't want it to, there. Boy, that was a nice thick plug. It's a shame I had to decimate it, but such is life. It comes with new ones. But what that does is that gives you access to your lever, and you can get that off of there. You could, if nothing else, you could drill a hole through these and make it easier than just punching away. I didn't realize they were so thick when I started. Now, let's go ahead and take these off before I forget. What do you figure it is? Not that. So it's 13/16 or 7/8. There's a 13, obviously not. Most hydraulic things are 7/8. Now the question's going to be, do I have a 7/8? I should. I mean, we're working in Studio C, so we don't always have the tools that we need. Remember, this is just one of those, like we changed on the cover the other day, where the nut locks it down, and then it's got an O-ring, and your nut compresses the O-ring, makes the seal. That's going straight in the old basket. And you might be saying, why didn't you clean this first? Well, I did. And this is still how dirty it is. I gave it a good douching in some bucket of gas and stuff, and cleaned it off a little bit, and they're still trash. All right. Now, to my knowledge, without just letting you look at the back of my arm, I'm gonna get these E-clips off of here, and that will let me pull the levers out the bottom. And a spring. Is that all that's on there, or is there more? There's probably an is that an O-ring on there? Would probably have helped if I had read the parts book. But that ain't my style, friends. You know that. Why read the instructions, you know? Be a man. There we go. Alright. That magically does something. However, it locks them in there. I think it relieves the pressure on them so that they do that thing. I'm not so sure that these steel balls don't fall out. So I better be careful. Yeah, they do. One. Okay. Two. This might have been what was hanging us up when we tried to get the thing loose. There's three. There's four. I'm going to do it over the magnetic tray. 5, 6. Alright. Valve body, sure. What else could be there or not there? I don't know. Let's do the other side that far. Pretty sure it comes with all this, but you never know, so better make sure you keep everything. All right. Okay, what's going on? Get those balls out of there. Uh-oh, we already lost one. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and there's 6. All right, that's there. And oh, these spacers, do they come out of there? I think they do. I think there's O-rings behind there. Everything's so crusty though. We might have to review the instructions, because I don't want to tear something up. I don't know if there's another snap ring. Is there a snap ring in there? There is. I think in this groove is a lock ring. I don't think yeah. Yeah. So that's going to be a fun time, I can tell you that now, trying to get that dug out of there. It's going to take a couple things probably, and 3 hands, and a Knudsen, and probably a rooster sounder too. So I'm going to get those out, pull the rings out, and then I'm going to start washing parts, and I'll bring you back when it's clean and we can start putting stuff together. But there's O-rings in there, and there's things and stuff. We've got a whole baggie here that shows us what to do. And I'm pretty sure it's straightforward. I mean, we probably won't use all the pieces because are you really good at putting stuff together if you use all the pieces? Probably not. So I'll get this cleaned up and I'll bring you back. All right, we got parts cooking. We got parts that we cooked and they're done. And so we can start reassembling, kind of. But we have first, one more thing we have to take off is there's a ring in here, and then there's like a, should be like a spool and a spring, and then there's a seal down in there, I'm pretty sure, that we have to replace. So this is the kind of deal where we're gonna have to push down on this and then also get the ring loose. And it's gonna be a real trick, I'm sure. You know, why wouldn't it? I'm trying to find something that I think would be easy to push, but also leave me enough room to get that snap ring out of there. I mean, I can see the end of it, but I can't really see what I'm doing. Let's see here. Even more light.
Eternity later.
This might be a me work on it a while and then bring you back project, because I bet I'm gonna struggle. Oh, friends, talk about putting up a struggle. That was miserable. I don't know what the deal was, but there better be something in here to replace after doing all that. I would think that the ball and everything comes out this way. In other words, your you know, that your coupler hits. There we go. I just couldn't let it go. I mean, maybe it wouldn't be a big deal, but doesn't it seem like maybe that ought to all been cleaned up just a little bit while we're in there? There is a O-ring and a backup washer right here, and that's what I was thinking. All right, well, at least we know that's worth doing, because it would really suck to put it back together and then have a leak. And it looks like to me this isn't in very good shape, this O-ring and backup washer here. So, but everything else should be good. Just a little bit of maybe clean up real quick. I don't know that it's worth cooking it all again, but at least we know that there is something in there that it's worth taking apart. I thought there was, but as difficult as it was being, it was about to just be whatever it was, you know. All right, that needs to go there. So now we need to start digging through our kit and try to come up with whatever we need, which might be a, I would say it's that, and probably that. No, let's see here. See, there's enough in this bag to do both sides and probably a little more, because they changed designs over the years on stuff. There's a piece of paper in here that shows yeah, I bet that's it. There's a piece of paper in here that shows something that you're supposed to use in place of another thing because of the updated setup over the years. I really need to kind of, okay, there we go. That's the other one. Yeah. I'm trying to make sure that stuff's in pairs before I start replacing because I don't want to be without. There's the new lock ring. This is going to take me a while because I can just tell you it is. Oh, baloney boys. I gotta go back past there. Well, I hope I got it. It's a real struggle buster. Alright, well, that is in there. Time will tell whether we did it right. Now, our next affair is going to be, I'm gonna have to use this. I'm gonna put this piece back on, so I don't know what these roll pins are for, but I'm guessing this is for some other type of operation that this coupler could have been used on, maybe. I don't know. But I do know one thing. It's going back on. As soon as I can figure out what I did with the bolt. I'm pretty sure that was it right there. Yeah, because I don't get what this piece, what its point really is. I mean, sure. I'm wondering, well, let's do one side at a time, and then we'll sort it out more. So I gotta dig in here now. There is another O-ring and backup ring in here. And then there's one back on the back side. We gotta find that pair. We gotta find another one. There should be 4 of them in here total. There's that. Let's make sure there's 4 of them. There's another one. There's another backup ring. There's another O-ring. Okay. The way I've been doing it is, since you have almost no room to work in, well, I say that now, but I've been putting the backup ring in first, and then I've been putting stick the O-ring through and then pull it back on itself. That seemed to be the best way, since I have no room to work. I mean, literally, there is literally no room to work. And there's no room to show you what I'm doing because it's just impossible. It's barely enough room for one guy to do it. There. Okay, that's in there. I'm going to take out the other old set while I'm here. Okay. So you got to work way back in there. You don't have any ability to get yourself in any way, shape, or form. So you gotta just, yeah. Well, I'll just have to shut you off again and work on this, because as you can see, that's quite the ways down in there, and I got to get that O-ring on the other side of that backup ring. So I'll do that and I'll bring you back. All right, I got one side pretty well ready to go, but I'm gonna have to put these balls back in here, and they're probably not gonna want to stay. I'm probably gonna need to really coat them up with grease or something, I say, as I do nothing. I'm pretty sure they won't. They have a little bit of grease around there. Kind of seal them in, you know. I don't even know if you're still recording at this point. Well, friends, I got this together. And I have to say, out of all the hydraulic stuff I've ever rebuilt, I think this was the most difficult. I could have rebuilt 10 of those Cessna valves in the time it took to rebuild this one thing. But I think I got it. Everything that was in there got replaced with something new. The only thing I don't have, and I'm gonna have to get out of my O-ring kit, is they didn't give O-rings for these for whatever reason. And they were no count. One of them broke when I took it off, and the other one was hard as a rock, so yeah, it's no big deal. I'll get those out of the kit, but good grief. I mean, yeah, everything's working the way it should. It's pretty, what do I want to say? I guess when it gets hydraulic pressure on it, it'll probably pop out on its own better, because it's right now it's pretty, like you lock it back in, but when you let loose, yeah. But everything is tight and the way it should be. The sad, disappointing thing is, from what I understand talking to other people, it'll probably still leak. I mean, I guess these things are notorious for just leaking. But this one is rebuilt, and in theory, it should be better than what we had. The only thing left to do is put this back on. I'll wait on that. I want to paint it before it goes back on so it doesn't rust. But I'm telling you, friends, that ain't a fun time at all. But at least it's done. And hopefully our repair will hold together enough that it, you know, just helps it a little bit. It's been broke for a long time. We didn't know it till we took it off, but somebody else repaired it, so I just followed suit and repaired it again. Because I'm guessing that this probably doesn't exist anywhere. And if it does, it's probably broke like that one. So anyway, we're going to call this one here. I don't know when I'll tackle the other one, because this one was so much fun. I think I probably am going to need some time between then and now. But until then, we're going to leave this one here. Do you suffer from low intelligence and are easily entertained? Well, then hit that thumbs up button and leave a comment. And that way we can keep making entertainment that your feeble minds can understand. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.